So everything is still tidy in here, or should I say tidy-ish. All I need to go out now is that yellow courgette and the smaller yellow courgette. Hi everyone. Well, I'm going to plant out my giant cabbage before it gets too big that I'll struggle. Never grown a giant cabbage before, so it's a learning curve. I've looked into it a bit, so let's see what I've done. Obviously I've dug a hole which is going to be bigger than what the cabbage is, yeah, and I'm going to fill it with a compost. It's just clover, multi-purpose. Right, in this I want to put some bone meal. Reason being, it's good for root growth. So I'll put that in and mix it in. And then I want to mix in some sulfate of ammonia. Its NPK is 2100, 21% nitrogen. It also contains 24% sulfur. So if I can find it, there, the little tab. No, I should be wearing gloves for this, but I'll just give my hands a really good wash. I'm going to give this quite a bit of the sulfate of ammonia, purely because actually I was going to take it out of the bag and just tip it in there, but I'm not, because it's high in nitrogen, and all your brassicas like a good boost of nitrogen, any leafy greens, to be perfectly honest with you. So giving it just a good mix. Top it off with a bit of 6X, if I can get this one open. So you've got like a quick release nitrogen and a snow would be nice, a slow release. So you know it shouldn't be lacking in any nutrients. I want to see how deep that needs to be. If I can have a bit more compost. One other thing, you're probably all aware of this, but the giant cabbage, I suppose, is obviously a bit bigger than a normal brassica. Your normal brassica is like the ground firmed when they're planted. These are no exception. They don't like to be rocked, basically, which is what will happen if it's not firmed in. So I'm going to actually I'm going to take these 2 little bottom leaves off, and hopefully I can get this out without any damage. Aye, nice root system on it. So if I put that there, I want to pull all the old soil back around it. Take that away from there. Make sure that lifts up. As I say, it'll be getting firmed in. I'm just watching. I don't cause any damage to the leaves. Big clods I'll try and break up by hand as I'm pulling them in. But like I say, just be careful. Try not to cause any damage to the leaves. Then once that's done, make sure it's fully firmed, as in the compost is fully firmed, and then make sure that the soil is fully firmed. I've just seen a bit of glass. In fact, there was 2 bits of glass, but I can only see the one at the moment. Once this is all firmed in, for all we've had rain this morning, I will be giving it a good drink, and then I'll probably bring me Brussels sprouts down and put these in here as well. But let's just start off with firming in. And like I said before, just be careful of the leaves. There's one that's gone. That's where talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing comes into it. Right, so to me, that is nice and firm. I'll just get a rake and rake this. Well, the rake's here actually. Get the rake all that around. Then I'll put the 3 tubs of Brussels in here as well. Whether I put the Brussels in today, I don't know. But stick around and I might. You can see the net blowing about on the insides, 2 pieces of net. I've just brought some braid down because I'm going to sew it. Yes, I can sew. So that's what I'm going to do, because occasionally when I've came down and it's been really, really windy, parts of the nets have been blown apart. Then obviously cabbage weight could get in or anything like that, which I don't want. So I'll give this a nice watering. I'll close these little doors and then I'll probably bring the sprouts down. We'll see. So the sprouts are in now. pull these off just so you can see, and the rain's starting to come down, but the 3 sets of sprouts are in, and the giant cabbage. These clips are just 25mm pipe with a sliver cut out, and you just clip over the wood. You can do exactly the same for your hoops. If you've got hoops that are made with 25mm, cut a bit of 25mm pipe, put slots in it, or if you're using, like, is it the 32mm next size up, you just do exactly the same. Just cut a slot out. Whatever pipe you're using, if you've got spare the same diameter, just cut a bit out the length of it. That had about half a centimetre. They'll stretch, and then that's how you can pull your netting around it. So it's chocolate down the rain. I'm going to go in the greenhouse and make myself a cup of hot chocolate. So everything is still tidy in here, or should I say tidy-ish. All I need to go out now is that yellow courgette and the smaller yellow courgette. Then obviously I've got that courgette there and that one there, but those two I've grew are Katie behind me. Still got a few cauliflower to go out. That's a sweet crimson watermelon and crystal lemon cuke and a crystal apple cuke. So that's that. Oh, sorry, May 2 for me and Rach. Hold on. These are getting a fair outside, so I'm going to have to... Oh, they're wrapping themselves around the leeks. Hold on. I didn't actually want to break a tendril. I didn't want to knock on my leaves either. Great. Come on. As the man said, come to daddy. I think, yeah. Right, I'll move these leeks. Right, that's the smaller one of the two. That is Rachel's cucumber number 2. This is number 1. Tendrils are looking for somewhere to hold themselves up. I was hoping to get the yellow courgettes out today, and the green ones, to be honest with you, even though they're a bit on the small side and it's a bit cold and loads of rain lately, I still wanted to get them out. I could give Katie her 2 courgettes. They'll be alright, because if I open my window you'll be able to see she's got a little plastic greenhouse. Hold on, I'll open my window. I don't know if you can see actually. Yeah, there. She's got like a little blue shed and a little plastic greenhouse built onto it. So, might be better looking through the window actually. That it is, isn't it? So she could put them in there until they're ready to go out. Then I could get rid of this shelf. Obviously I'd find somewhere for the cauliflowers unless somebody wanted them. I've got 2 sweet crimson watermelon. They could just go on the bench here, or even in with the peppers or whatever, chilies. As I say, and then these cucumbers, I'll have a frame up against this back wall. They'll grow up there. Same with the crystal lemon and the crystal apple. Now, I've never grown them before. I don't eat cucumbers. And when Ali sent me them, that's Ali from My Rusty Garden. When Ali sent me them, I thought, they're going to be like a cucumber, but they'll just have an apple or lemon taste. But when I actually Googled them and found out, no, they're not. They just basically look like apples, but the cucumbers. So that is something different for me. So I'll be looking forward to that. What's the temperature? Max temperature, it's been in here 40.3. It's 28.2 at the moment, and it was 8.1 overnight. Can I hear the kettle boiling? Just starting to whistle. So I'm going to have to come back to yours very shortly. Before I go, let's see how the tomatoes are doing. I've decided I'm definitely taking the condo out of the polytunnel. I'm going to put them inside the fruit cage, and some of these tomatoes I can take and put down in the polytunnel, and then I can concentrate on these ones here. That'll give us a bit of space here again, and in which case I could put one cucumber plant there. But for now, I'm just going to make a quick cuppa. Well, there's the drinking chocolate made. Speaking of making drinking chocolate, gas. I've just had to go and, well, I haven't had to, but I did. I went and got another bottle today. So that one there is the one I'm using. It's a 15 kilo one. Then I've just been out this morning and bought that one off a guy, because I always like to have a spare bottle in. That was the spare bottle, which I changed for that one probably 3 months ago, and I totally forgot that I didn't have a spare. I do have a very small one, which is behind that box. It's a 3 kilo one that's empty. I meant to get rid of it, but I used to keep these bottles, open them, you know, like take the tap with the top, fill them with water, leave them a while, and I'd make wood burners out of them. On my old plot, I welded two together, and I made a wood burner with a little drawer on the bottom for the ash pan. But obviously I can still make them, but I don't need one since I've got that, which I got off a friend who's got a plot over the back. My little drawer there, I'll show you, I'll pull this out the road. There's 2 drawers there. Oh, I used to keep my drinking stuff in there. Drinking chocolate. I used to have them here on this shelf, the ones that were open that I'm actually using at the time. But the spare ones were in the chest of drawers. I went to get one the other day, and the mice have been in. So I hide quite a few packets into there, you know, full packets, you know, and then more underneath. What I've done, just bought a little like a Tupperware thing, and put some wire up ahead, made a little shelf, and get the drinking chocolates and Bovril up in there. So that was one good thing. Actually, I've just found a place where I can put this empty ice cream tub. That'll go up there, won't it? Hey, you'd think the shelf was made for it, wouldn't you? Anyhow, I'm going to sit down and have a drink of me hot chocolate, and I'll come back to you shortly. So, as well as buying that gas bottle this morning from a lad at Peter Lee, I've been out, I bought a bag of straw. I didn't bother buying the big bales. Last year and the year before, I was buying was like horse bedding made by a company called Equinox. Basically, it was rape straw, but it had a hint of tea tree to it, tea tree smell, scent. Prior to that, I had been using Strulch, and I didn't find Strulch very good at all. So I believe, in fact, I'm 99.9% certain, or was Tony O'Neill was using the Equinox horse bedding. So I bought some, and the cost is 20 quid. I bought 2 bags of it, or bales, whatever they are. And I put it on. The first year wasn't too bad. It was great as a mulch. I had no problem with snails, like for me brassicas, slugs. But last year, I found the same product on eBay and it was only £10 in coppers. So I bought 2 more. And the stuff that was on the bed, I dug it in, turned it over, and I put the new stuff down. Now, it's identical stuff, made by the same company. I said Equinox, didn't I? Think it's Equinola, sorry. So I put that down on the bed, left it for a couple of months. Then I planted through it. But it may just be with the colour being like a yellowy white. Seen loads more what I would call a blacklock, loads more woodlice, which they are there. You know they're there. They just stand up more because of their colour on that colour background. But what I also noticed at the end of the season, I had a lot more weeds growing in them beds. And I thought, right, the beds I had put them on, the Equinola stuff, never used to have weeds at all. And I had been using barley straw on a couple of the smaller beds. And they had grass grown. So I thought, right, well, that Equinola stuff isn't going to be any good for the beds. The barley straw isn't. I buy the barley straw from the range. That's what I've just bought this morning, even though I'm saying it's no good. Yeah, as I was saying, I was getting grass growing through it, but I had a bag left, so I've been using it as a mulch on my potatoes and on my giant pumpkin, which is in a raised bed. And then obviously I put it under the vine, the primary vine. So I've never looked to see if there's a secondary vine coming yet, but I'm keeping that underneath it. And reason being, well, there's a couple of reasons actually. One, it acts as a mulch to keep the moisture in the ground. 2, hopefully it keeps the slugs away. And 3, if and when the pumpkin becomes too big or starts to grow slightly towards the vine or towards a secondary vine, if there's a one, and you need to move it, well, the skins, they're very fragile. I'll say is the word fragile. You can cut them where, if you've got a ring on or a watch, you can cut them. You know, if you've got sharp fingernails, you can cut them. If you cut them, they're basically knackered. So I know people use sand underneath and you can just slightly move it, you know, with the sand. But I'm thinking I can do exactly the same on the straw. Whether grass grows there, it doesn't matter because it's on top of the wood chip. It'll lift off straight away and it's binned. But that was my idea. Keep the moisture in the ground and in the raised bed that it's in. Act as a mulch. Keep the slugs at bay, hopefully, and also so I can move it if I need to move it. I haven't started burying any of the nodes yet, and I probably will. That'll just encourage more root growth. But I was planning on doing this today, but obviously the weather, I'm not. But I was planning on checking everywhere, cutting flowers up that are unnecessary to be there. As I say, checking for any secondary veins coming off, trim them back, etc. Maybe only leave maybe 2 or 3 pumpkins on and 1 at the end. Then hopefully the 3 that's closer to the plant, if they start to get bigger, the 1 at the end I'll cut off. I will cut the growing tip off because it's a challenge, and the challenge isn't for the biggest, longest plant, which a lot of the giant competitions, they measure the length of the main vine. This is for the actual pumpkin, the widest circumference pumpkin and the heaviest pumpkin. So I only need 1 or 2 pumpkins really to be grown to keep me in good stead for the challenge. The way it's grown at the moment, yeah, I've just seen cobwebs on my other kettle, what I don't use. Lost all train of thought no time with that kettle. Well, it was something to do with the pumpkin, wasn't it? So I'll just keep trimming it back, taking flowers off, and hopefully it'll put all its energy into the fruit. So if I only have, say, 2 or 3 fruit, it should give them a good chance of growing really well. I'm debating on whether to give me brassicas a feed with that ammonia sulfate, or ammonium sulfate, as some people call it. As I say, it's good for your brassicas or any leafy greens. It's good for onions, leeks. It just, it's only 21% nitrogen, so it's not massively high, but it's certainly not as low as the likes of your Grow More 777. So if you've got something that needs a boost, then that's the stuff to use. Also, I suppose if you're planting it out, it's good. It's got sulfur in, as I told you before. 21% nitrogen, 24% sulfur. So it is good. I'm sure somebody used it, but I can't think who. Maybe somebody will comment. I'm not sure. But I wish this rain would, as they say, do one. It looks like it's going to be sun showers. The sun comes out, it's really, really bright, and then all of a sudden the heavens open up. Because I could really do with getting the condor outside. Well, saying that, with the amount of water we're having, I suppose they're better off in the polytunnel at the moment until all these rains go away. So I may just leave them there and leave the tomatoes through there the way they are at the minute. Feeling that I can bring the tomatoes and put them on the bench there as well. It was too much space needed. But I need to get the courgettes out, and I need to get the cucumbers sorted as well. But oh hey, I watched a video the other day from Duncan in Coastal Gardens, North Wales. He failed to meet his target that he wanted, the 30 videos in 30 days. I honestly thought he would have done it. But as he said, he lost his microphone. Then obviously things going on at home, work, the garden, then his new allotment. And Duncan did actually hit on something as well. How long it takes to make a video. People may think a video is, just say for instance this video is 30 minutes long. People might think, well, it only takes 30 minutes. But it doesn't really. You've got to make the video, whether you do it all in one hit or you do it in separate pieces. You've then got to re-watch it back and edit it and upload it. I do it pretty much the hard way. Duncan does it similar. I use my mobile phone, so I do the video on there. I do it in however many parts. I think this one is in 4 parts. Then I'll go home and I'll upload these onto my laptop. From my laptop, I'll put them onto Filmora, Wondershare Filmora. I'll put the clips together, I'll play them. If there's any editing needs done, I'll edit it. Then it gets uploaded to YouTube. So a 30-minute video, yes, it takes 30 minutes to actually video it. But once you get home, that video could take you an hour or even 2 hours to upload, edit, and then put the final video up onto YouTube, you know. So I can see where Duncan was coming from with, it's a lot to do in a short time. But as I said, some people think it only takes as long as the video. I've got another channel what I used for work. Notice I say the word used. I'm basically retired. But I used to use them when I went out to work. I would make videos, cleaning headstones, cleaning curb sets, re-gilding them, yeah, all that sort of thing. And some of them were done over like 4 days. So you've got, I think my longest one was 10 hours. And I had to cut that right down to, I believe it was about 45 minutes. And that took some doing. And then someone commented on the video that, what was it? He hopes it took longer for me to do the stone and the curb set than what it actually took to make the video. And I said, can I ask you how long you think it took to make this video? And he went, yeah. He says, about 45 minutes, 50 minutes. And I replied to the guy saying, look, mate, it was done over I think it was 4 days or 5 days, but there was probably 20 odd videos. You know, I was just taking so much as I was going, stopping it, taking some more, stopping it. So I had to upload them all, put them on the Filmora, watch it, edit it as I'm gunning, then upload it. And the guy couldn't believe how long the actual footage was, the 12 hours or whatever it was, and chop it right down. So to anyone who doesn't make videos, please believe they do take a long time. So whatever channels you're subscribed to, like I'm subscribed to loads. And I'm not very good at making the videos. The editing, the transitions, the titles, etc., etc., etc. There's people who are far, far, far better than me. So when I watch them, I appreciate how much they've actually put into making that video, how much time and effort, you know. Before I got into making them, I was guilty myself. I thought, quick video, obviously didn't take long to do, but it isn't that way at all. That cobweb on the kettle keeps catching the corner of my eye. Once I'm finished this video, I'm going to take the kettle off. I'm going to give it a good clean because it's really getting on my wick. I'm going to leave it here for now. In fact, no, I'm going to end the video now. This is the end of this video. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for the 3 new subscribers since Monday. Much appreciated. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to the people that watch and unsubscribed. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.